Okay, we are back. Bet the Edge. NFL Honors Live Watch Along Part 2, as I tweeted out, like Dune. Part 2 promises to be even more action-packed than Part 1. Part 1, a lot of exposition. Part 2, straight into the action. Coach of the Year. We're at a bar on Poydras Street in New Orleans, Drury Hotel. It's literally just us and Dan Patrick randomly is at the bar.
Yes,
chatting
NBC Sports Now.
Yes, indeed. We are watching on the screen now the Coach of the Year nominees being read out. Seeing Sean Payton. Kevin O'Connell closed minus 1250, which I hope is correct. Dan Campbell plus 600.
Jay has shattered my dreams of a Lamar Jackson MVP, so I hope that this is the moment where Jay has his reckoning, his karmic reckoning. But not really. I want Jay to win. I love Jay. I want him to be able to feed his family with Kevin O'Connell money.
Yeah. Satan was wonderful. KOC would be even better. They're reading it out.
Come on, baby.
Kevin O'Connell, his third-round draft choice. Oh, yes. Yes. Good work. Good work, team. Got it done.
KOC.
What an outfit.
Looking
Dude,
phenomenal.
Best dressed man of the night so far. Well, Prime's outfit was also quite excellent, but I got to give a hat tip to Kevin O'Connell.
Oh,
well styled.
Looks like Diego Simeone on the sideline for Atletico Madrid.
What an outfit by Kevin O'Connell.
That's a Coach of the Year.
Very cool that there is a connection between Belichick drafting him and getting him this award.
God, he's a handsome man.
Yes,
Kevin O'Connell,
is.
sneakily.
Yes.
Making
Absolutely.
receding hairlines look magnificent.
Beautiful jawline.
Great
Yes.
figure. Great figure on the man.
Yes.
Oh,
Sam Darnold stuck
take
around
the cap.
despite not winning comeback play of the year to give the old clapperoonie to Kevin O'Connell.
And Kevin O'Connell I will be interviewing him tomorrow morning on Fantasy Football
Are you
Happy Hour.
serious?
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell's coming on. It's going to be very strange when I start kissing his cheeks, but he will be.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
We are not worthy of Kevin O'Connell. Magnificent. They tried to give it away in week 18, but alas, they could not. I want to see the vote count here because I haven't seen it. Right hand to God. I'm going to guess he got 29 first place votes.
I had this kind of contrarian take that this was going to be close.
He got 20. Wow, it was close. 25 to 19.
Oh
my God.
Goodness.
Oh, that's a lot closer than I thought it would be. Oh, that makes it even better.
Wow.
I would have guessed Campbell.
Okay.
I would have guessed 29 to 13. And it was
it really just tells you that Dan Campbell won all the swing states, but the blue wall.
Yes.
The purple wall held. For,
O'Connell ultimately, O'Connell was top 3 on every single ballot. Campbell was top 3 on 37 out of 50. And that was always kind of the handicap to an extent with O'Connell towards the end of the season, where it's like, how can you leave him off your top 3?
How can you explain Dan Quinn being the 5th choice? What in the world? What world are we living in?
Our man Rob Marty's butchered his formatting here, so Dan Quinn actually finished 4th. I don't know why he's listed in 5th, but he did finish 4th, which makes it a little bit more defensible. Although he might have screwed it up.
Andy Reid, a surprise 3rd choice for this award.
Probably justified. I don't know. Coach of the Year is so subjective.
Yes.
I don't think there are any right or wrong answers outside of Dable shouldn't have beat Shanahan 2 years ago. But no. 25-19. I'm surprised it was that close.
I love that this was a lucrative award for you.
Thank you, Drew.
And I love that the vibe of this awards reaction show is
much happier than last year.
The comeback player of the year for Jay is the comeback player of the year. He's taken all the money back this year.
To Kevin and to Pass.
Yeah.
The one thing before we bring on the great Danny Carter, who's sitting right next to us, one of the things I like about betting these awards, and this is very niche and in the weeds, but if you're watching this watch along, you're probably pretty niche and in the weeds. The thing that I love about them is that as soon as the award is announced,
Yeah.
And I'm stealing this from a buddy, Count the Money on Twitter. Is that it's like a legal case where you're either guilty or not guilty, and the case is closed.
It's over.
And the fine margins don't matter, and it's just
over.
you won or you lost. It's
over.
like Luis Heel with our Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he butchered the last 2 starts. Didn't matter at all because he won the award by 1 vote.
He won the award.
And it doesn't matter if you win it by a landslide or an inch.
It doesn't matter if you scored 9 points against the Detroit Lions with no defending players in the game that would decide your fate in the playoffs.
Indeed. And on that note, let's bring in Denny Carter. Squish in, Denny.
Right, yeah.
The great Denny Carter,
right.
One of the champions of Blue Sky, one of the initial real
early
revolutionaries.
adopter.
Yeah, early adopter.
I'm in.
I believe you have like approximately 6 million skeets. I believe they're called.
And if you adjust my following for the size of Blue Sky, I have 1.2 million followers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
right.
So we were talking to Aaron Schatz on Bet the Edge a couple days ago about Dan Campbell, the runner-up for Coach of the Year. And I think if Dan Campbell had won Coach of the Year, I don't think it would have been a travesty at all. But what I thought, the one thing that we asked Aaron, which I think is an interesting thing about Dan Campbell, do you think he's analytical or do you think he hits the same button every time?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I like that he is a big, strong guy and he carries the flame for the analytics movement.
Yes.
That's cool because we didn't have that with like
making Gronk smash cool.
Right. We didn't have it with like Brandon Staley.
No.
That was an embarrassment. Him going for 4th and 10, looking the way he did. And
He's not our champion.
No, and Dan Campbell is our champion, and I appreciate him. So it's hard for me to say anything. But you might be right. I mean, he might actually maybe be too aggressive. Is that what you're getting at?
I thought the smoking gun was the Week 17 game last year in Dallas, where they take the penalty to push them back on the 2-point.
2-point conversion. They get a penalty. They get a second penalty. They're at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, so they complete the touchdown pass to Taylor Decker,
right.
but then they get the penalty because Decker allegedly didn't declare himself eligible.
And
they go back to 4th and 7. They're down 1 with like 23 seconds left, and they go for 2 from 4th and 7. And Dan Campbell in the press conference was like, "We were ending the game there either way, baby."
Yeah. Well, and he came out and he was like, that was my gut.
Yeah.
That was my gut feel. So he doesn't actually ever really cite the analytics.
Yeah.
He never says like, well, the spreadsheet said I should go for it. He's like, I felt it in my gut.
Yes.
Which I think that's the only way you can explain it to a football audience.
Yeah.
Though.
But to be fair, that type of archetype of coach 25 years ago would be like the gut is to take the points, like always. And now the gut.
It's Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Well, they still do that.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches still do that. Yeah.
Aaron Schatz, he explained it well in that he thought that Dan Campbell initially, the analytics and the math and the analytical people in the Detroit Lions organization would have perhaps swayed him to that direction or played into his existing ideas about that and given him support.
Right.
And then it's just become embedded. And now it's just part of his identity. But now he just goes for
that's
it.
An interesting thought.
But yeah,
I hadn't thought of it. You said Andy Reid finished 3rd in Coach of the Year voting. I can't help but notice the last 2 years he's one of the most conservative 4th down decision makers.
Let me interject here.
Go ahead.
I fully support the conservative nature of Andy Reid.
Okay. Why?
Because
hold on, we MVP already?
No. We're just preamble. This is preamble, I think. Yeah. I support while we wait for the resolution here, and if MVP comes up, we obviously will stop because I need to know. I need to know if I owe tens of thousands of dollars to unspecified parties, or if I am going to be the beneficiary of a correct handicap. But okay, so this is like Best Actor, where they bring up former people to laud every MVP candidate one by one. The defense for Andy Reid being conservative is
Mahomes.
that it's not just Mahomes; it's that protect him at all costs.
Protect who?
Mahomes.
Oh,
do not hurt him.
I see.
Do not hurt him.
I don't
The fact
know.
that they don't put him in harm's way via the quarterback.
What, like the tush push?
dive.
Is that what you're saying?
They're
They're never going to do that.
They will never. Thank you. Squeak
No,
the sneak.
No.
The quarterback squeak They never squeak him.
You
right?
don't squeak.
They never.
Whatever
squeak
you do, you don't squeak.
They never squeak him. No, like the fact that they protect him at all costs, and they were like, "We will win games without that in our."
It's Josh. It is Josh Allen winning MVP, standing next to Don Draper, John Hamm. He has flipped the All-Pro votes. As we spoke about earlier in the show, I think there was some surrounding context where you potentially could have predicted this, but it's still baffling that 30 people voted Josh Allen All-Pro first, Lamar first name All-Pro, and Allen. But I'm interested to see if he won by one vote or what the deal was.
So Josh Allen threw for 600 fewer yards this season. He had a bunch fewer completions.
He won 27-23. So he flipped like 9. There were 9 people who didn't vote Josh Allen.
This doesn't make sense. He had a much worse season than he did last year. Let's be real about that.
I would have voted Josh last year. I would have voted Lamar this year. I can't believe this.
I'm really sorry, guys. That I didn't have any skin in this game, but Lamar was clearly the MVP.
I don't think it's like a reprehensible choice with Allen. The EPA play was like,
guys, I only have one thought. Let's go Eagles. Eagles. Let's go Eagles.
All right,
let's Birds.
That's what the kids say.
Good God Almighty.
Okay, let's bring in Pat Doherty. Denny, hold on, Denny. Tell people where to follow you on the Great Blue Sky.
I'm at Denny Carter if you want to follow me there.
Magnificent.
That's it?
At Denny Carter.
Easy. Oh, perfect.
Brilliant. All right.
That it's so simple.
Let's bring in Rotopat, who's flaunting his raspberry White Claw.
Congratulations on your Josh Allen MVP.
I was an Allen supporter. No, I was a Lamar supporter.
Oh, you are?
The thing is, I'm sympathetic.
How do we cope?
I'm sympathetic to the view that their careers have not been such that Lamar should have 3 MVPs to Allen's 0.
Sure.
But that doesn't matter, though. That was the deciding factor.
You think that was?
Yes. I think most voters were like, listen, man, we've done the Lamar MVP thing twice. He's not 3 MVPs better than Josh. It's kind of like a valedictory award for Josh Allen.
I got to tell you what. The smug look on Josh Allen's face is absolutely making me want to scream right now because he has known that he was winning this, and he did not perform like an MVP against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
He melted.
He was absolutely horrific in that game.
Wow.
He has not gotten called out even close to what he ought to have been for how poorly he performed, and then this is now making me think it's just not ever going to happen.
Wow.
No, seriously.
Wow.
If he's just like, what?
One of the great assassinations
I sucked,
of Josh
but
Allen.
like everybody's patting me on the back and they're giving me the MVP. Like, there's no growth. There's no growth.
I think maybe I noticed a little like modest shame there. Yeah, I think he almost looked a little embarrassed to win MVP there. Like he maybe like
you think?
Yeah.
To be fair, Lamar.
Okay, if I'm seeing it through Lamar colored glasses and you're seeing it, if you saw it that way, I will take a deep breath.
There might have been a little humility. Small
reset.
town, central,
I'll reset.
Northern California
but looking
humility.
At how smug he was accepting that award, considering how poorly he played against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game,
Savage.
I feel like it's not ever going to happen for him.
Oh, that's a bold take. That's a strong,
Very, very strong.
Unbelievable.
Drew Dinsick, tell us how you really feel.
Well, so the only reason people might not care about this in the end is because when their careers are over, they can look back like, it would have been kind of crazy if Josh didn't win MVP. Like the one he did win was kind of silly, but he deserved an MVP. But like that's not enough reason
I think
to do
it's totally defensible to vote for Josh Allen MVP. I probably would have voted Lamar, but I would have voted Josh last year. I think it's stupid to like have a makeup vote. I would have voted Josh last year and Lamar this year, but it's it's fine.
Talk to me about his attitude there. Because I noticed, I'm not even kidding.
I think it's
if you are literally not like the fucking the job is not finished. The job is not finished. Like the mission is not accomplished. Like
no, it is not.
If your attitude
the banner is
not
like, flying.
I appreciate this MVP, but we are coming for a Super Bowl next year. How do you have faith that they're going to get across the line?
It's been a long time since I won NFL MVP, but I think if I won MVP, I'd be pretty happy, like regardless of circumstance. It's pretty cool to be most valuable player.
I would take it with a humongous dose of humility.
So you want to do?
Well, listen.
If I had not gotten to
Drew,
this level,
you got
if I had not gotten past the boogeyman,
you got your.
I would not treat it.
I believe you were on the Bills with me last week, 2 weeks ago. So you didn't get your catharsis, but in a way, you got your catharsis by Allen. Allen melted in that game. He melted.
Yes,
the first 2 passes should have been picks.
Have you heard anyone talk about this besides you and me?
No,
I haven't.
No. Anyway, who do you think is a better quarterback, Pat? Do you think Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Like, independent of MVP, who do you think is the better quarterback? If you had a quarterback, if you were going to the Super Bowl, like identical strength teams, who would you rather have?
I'd rather have Lamar Jackson because being a quarterback's not just pure pocket passing anymore. It's all of the above. You need as many ways as possible to win a game in a playoff game. Josh Allen can finish at the end zone, of course, as a rusher. Lamar can flip a game with his legs. They can both flip a game with their arm. I think Josh Allen's a better passer, ever so slightly. But if you're looking for ways, like we need as many different ways as possible as we can to potentially flip a playoff game. I think Lamar Jackson still gives you more potential ways to flip. And, they're unfortunately in their Michael Jordan era for the NFL, where it's just not going to happen because they're going up against Michael Jordan. They're Gary Payton. They're Karl Malone. They're John Stockton.
That's fair.
And that's really the ultimate problem for them. I feel like in the playoffs.
My problem is legitimately that it felt like with that acceptance that he was accepting it. He was accepting.
You wanted to do the Macklemore Best New Artist.
Josh Allen has accepted that he's Karl Malone. He's literally like Karl Malone, my hero from the Utah Jazz. I accept that I am Karl Malone. Like that was my read on that attitude. Yeah. You can't be here at this event with Patrick Mahomes again in the Super Bowl and not at least have a little bit of this is a bittersweet victory. Like, have a modicum of this is a bittersweet victory. No. Did you not see his face? It was all he could do not to break out into a freaking song and dance. He was just smug as can be.
I saw his face. I did not.
What a
hear
meltdown! I love this meltdown from Drew Dinsick. While Drew Brees is on the screen, I wish we could bet on Walter Payton Man of the Year. It'd be a really interesting pricing exercise.
By the way, Denny
this guy did this work in the community. But
Denny pointed out earlier he took a bath on the salute to service.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He did not have Kittle.
Little known fact. Trista Crick actually lost $180,000 on Fan of the Year. Anyway,
Player of the Year. You'll get him next year.
Yeah, we're about to sign off, but in all, these awards, I think they're fascinating to talk about. From a betting perspective, they're very interesting to price. Last year was comically bad in terms of the swing results. For me personally, this year, a little bit kinder, particularly with Kevin O'Connell squeaking out Coach of the Year in the end. Sorry, Drew, about Lamar Jackson. And it's a bad swing for me as well. I much would have preferred Lamar win, but we'll always have your commentary on Josh Allen and the smugness of his acceptance speech in the wake of another loss to Patrick. He's 0-4 against Mahomes in the playoff streak. You can always hang on to that.
Yes, I think I was on him on all 4. Oh no, last year I was on Mahomes, but 1 out of 3. Oh God, I can't believe that. I can't believe this.
Okay, let's sign up. Pat, can you tell people where to follow and anything that you're working on at the moment you want to plug?
I'm not sure if anyone's still joining Twitter, but I am ROTO
Give out your Blue
Pat
Sky.
on Twitter. I'm on the Blue Sky
Yes.
at ROTO Pat. Going to be all over roundtables this weekend. We're doing an NBC News roundtable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking part in.
Okay.
Not about the Super Bowl. A rotoworld.com roundtable about the Super Bowl. Check out our content all week from Radio Row. We interviewed a guy named Drew Dinsick. Interviewed a guy named Greg Rosenthal, Kevin Clark, Nate Tice. Great stuff at the Roto-World Football Show.
Yeah, big fan of Nate Tice in particular. Okay, well, you can follow me on Blue Sky at ilovekevinoconnell.com. But anyway, thanks everyone for joining in. This is a very in the weeds show, and so if you've tuned in with us, we appreciate you being in the weeds with us. Congratulations to Patrick Surtain, to Kevin O'Connell, to Jared Verse, Jaden Daniels, Saquon Barkley. Commiserations to Lamar Jackson. Begrudging congratulations to Josh Allen, who is, despite the absolute slander from Drew Dinsick.
Congratulations to Josh Allen for the pinnacle of his career, because it does not get any better than what he just accomplished. It is over from here on. It is over.
It did veer into slander, I'll say.
Yeah. That's fine. I enjoyed it. I'm here for it. Okay. We are done from New Orleans, Louisiana. The Drury Hotel is starting to fill up this hotel bar. Dan Patrick is being accosted by multiple people. We might go try and save him. We can save Lamar Jackson, but perhaps we can save Dan Patrick. From myself, from Drew, from Pat Doherty. Thank you to Trista Crick and Denny Carter for joining us as well. Hopefully your bets won tonight. We'll see you soon.